with a brief English reading. But before that, Rue is going to warm up us up, there we go, with a song which makes the soul engage. So beautiful.
The whole thing? Just the first one. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. Do I keep going? Oh, my apologies. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Light the candles.
Oh, darn. Tree candles.
We always have one tree candle.
Amen.
We're going to celebrate Bella in a couple weeks, but we just wanted to do a test drive of what a celebration would look like.
That was lovely, guys. Thank you.
This poem for Shabbat Zachor, oops, not the right poem, actually put it away.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I know, after finding it. All right. I'll grab it for you in just a moment. Let's move forward, if you don't mind, with Kiddush. On page 123, we invite you to rise physically or spiritually. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, hihu yom tehila lemikra kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'aharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uratzon inhaltanu Baruch Ata Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
You may be seated as we continue together on page 125, reading responsively, paragraph after paragraph. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover?
Anything from it? Oh, the joy of life, the unsuspected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished.
Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom?
On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away.
On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return.
On this day, Shabbat abide.
Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time.
The retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life.
Let me learn to pause, if only for this day.
Let me find peace on this day.
Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide. Would you please turn around and say Shabbat Shalom? Maybe turn around to someone who you've not greeted just yet.
Shabbat Shalom.
We continue with Yedid Nefesh, page 128. 128.
128.
Yedid Nefesh Ar-Rahman, Yedid Nefesh Ar-Rahman, Meshochaveha, Yeretzonecha, Meshochaveha, la 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 la, Eretzonecha, Yarut Avdecha, Kemal Yar, Yishtachave, la la la, la 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 la, El Mul Hadarecha, Yarut Avdecha, Kemal Yar, Yishtachave, la la la, ya la 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 la, El Mul Hadarecha. A psalm for the Sabbath day, Psalm 92, page 140. 140.
Oops, sorry. All right.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, לשיר העליון, ולזמר לשיר העליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, לשיר העליון, ולזמר לשיר העליון. להגיד בבוקר הצדעה, ואמונה בלילה, עלה עשור ועלה נבל, עלה היגיון והינון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, לשיר העליון ולזמר לשיר העליון. אני אדוני מברך במעשה ידיך ארנן, מגלו מעשיך אדוני, מאור לכבודך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, לשיר העליון ולזמר לשיר העליון. צדיק התמר יפרח יפרח, צדיק התמר יפרח, צדיק התמר יפרח יפרח, צדיק התמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יסגר, כארז בלבנון יסגר, כארז בלבנון יסגר יסגר, כארז בלבנון יסגר, כארז בלבנון יסגר, כארז בלבנון יסגר יסגר. Such a lovely song. All right. We continue with our call to worship, page 146, as we invite you to rise physically or spiritually.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai, HaMevorach, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed.
We invite you to continue with me in the Hebrew, page 148. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna meshane etim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hachochavim, v'mishmerotayam barakia kirtzono, b'reyom v'leila, golel or mepnei choshech, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומבין לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. Page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. The Shema, page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 157, responsively, please. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings be many and our faults be great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. La 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 ya la 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 woo ya la la ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 la
It simply would not be Shabbat if we didn't sing the next song, this amazing Hashkivenu, which has sort of been reimagined as an upbeat tune, but still with a message, right, of that canopy of peace.
Yeah. Here it comes, everybody! Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu shomrenu lechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and joy. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred and sorrow and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Hamidenu shomrenu lechaim, 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 to life, to life, lechaim.
We now can rise physically or spiritually as we remember our ancestors and the strength of our God on this Shabbat Zachor. I will read this one poem called The Amalek Within, which is what seems to be, oh my golly, it just doesn't want to be read. Every time I keep putting it away, I don't know what is wrong with me tonight.
That's the right book, though.
It is the right book, but it's the Amalek Within. All right, it means it should not be read now, but instead, what we should be doing is rising to join together in the Avot and Imahot. Page 164, it's insanity, it is. Adonai, sefatai tiftach, uvia gita hilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh ha'akol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot v'imahot, U'mevi Geula livnei v'nehem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah, Rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakeh chayim b'chesed, Mechayei hakol b'rachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh holim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato lishenei afar, Mi chamach ba'al gevurah, U'mido melech, Melech memit u'mechayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shem hakadosh, u'kadoshim bo yom yalucha, Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We invite you to take a moment for the meditations that are upon your heart, and when you're done with that pursuit, please be seated.
Shalom. 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 Ose shalom. Bimmerama. Shalom aleinu. Ose shalom. Bimmerama. Uya ase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom. Bimmerama. Uya ase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael le'imeru amen 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 oh, shalom. Shalom. Oh, shalom. Shalom. Oh, shalom.
So we're going to do something a little bit, well, unorthodox to this evening. This is Shabbat Zachor, and if you noticed at the very front, we had these handouts. The front has the explanation for why you have this handout, but because there are folks at home watching, this particular Shabbat, Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat that precedes Purim, is, well, you're going to find out a Shabbat, the Shabbat of remembrance, and why, when I get to my drash in just a few minutes. This particular episode for the Jewish people is a very, very dark one indeed. And the Haftarah that I'm going to read picks up the story of King Saul. King Saul, who is supposed to finally bring justice to the Amalekites for what they have done. And what they have done is nothing short of egregious murder. Again, I'll explain a little bit more. I have chanted the Maftir before, those 3 verses, so many of you know. There is a Parsha, the weekly portion, Sidra, the weekly amount, that I choose a piece from that I read. I don't ever read the whole thing, because we would be here quite a long time if I did. Additionally, there is a Maftir, which is usually the last 3 verses of a Torah portion, usually. But on a special Shabbat, it becomes a separate portion from a separate book of maybe the Torah, right? It can be from a separate book of Torah. This particular Maftir for Shabbat Zachor comes from Deuteronomy. So it is something we've chanted before, but the Haftarah, because we don't have Saturday morning services unless there's a bar bat mitzvah, you wouldn't have heard. And this is of some consequence, especially if you're interested in the monarchy, because the mistake that Saul makes, which you can read again in this handy dandy handout, is one that will change him forever, and certainly changes his position in the world. So give this a read. You can do it while we will at any time when I'm chanting the Haftarah, whenever you want. We are, however, going to take the Torah out to visit, and so we invite you to rise as we open the ark doors.
En kamocha va'Elohim Adonai, ve'en kema'asecha, malchutecha malachut olamim, u'meshatecha be'otor v'ador, Adonai, 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 והחול, כי כה בשמיים ובארץ, כי כה בשמיים ובארץ, לך אדוני הממלכה, והנתנשא לכל ראש. אשא עיני אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. אשא עיני אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מעם אדוני עושה שמיים וארץ. עזרי מעם אדוני עושה שמיים וארץ.
You may be seated as the Torah is at rest as well.
She certainly is.
Yeah. So, if you care to join with me, well, I mean, if you're going to do Haftarah and you're going to do it at the wrong time, you might as well also do the Haftarah blessings also at the wrong time because, I mean, why would you want to be like everyone else? By the way, if you are interested in knowing what the Parsha is, it is Parashat Vayikra, which is the very first portion in the book of Leviticus. So we're going to begin the priestly book, that book which tells us exactly how God expects the Olah, or not just the Olah, all of the offerings to take place. And so we're going to begin a little bit of, a bit of sacrificing coming in the coming weeks. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher v'torah u'v'Moshe avdo ובישראל עמו ובנביאי האמת והצדק. כה אמר אדוני צבאות, פקדתי את אשר עשה עמלק לישראל, אשר שם לו בדרך בעלותו ממצרים. עלתה לך והכית את עמלק, והחמרתם את כל אשר לו, ולא החמול עליו, העמיתה מאיש עד אישה, מעולל ועד יונק, משור ועד שא, מגמל ועד המור. וישמע שאול את העם, ויפקדם בת למים 200,000 רגלי, ו10,000 ואת איש יהודה. Thus says Adonai of hosts, I'm exacting the penalty for what Amalek did to Israel, for the assault he made upon them on the road, on their way up from Egypt. Now go, attack Amalek, and prescribe all that belongs to him. Spare no one. Kill alike men and women, infants and sucklings, oxen and sheep, camel and donkey. Saul mustered the troops and enrolled them at Ta'alim, 200,000 men afoot and 10,000 men of Judah. And as you see from the page, the explanation that I gave you, it doesn't go as was commanded of Saul. The blessing after, if you want to do it with me, 372. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, sadik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך. יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד ימלוך לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. And so this poem by Alden Salvi called Amalek Within. We remember the day you set upon us from behind, the day you attacked. The weak, the faint, the exhausted, and the defenseless. We remember your savagery and glee, your malice and ruthless intent. We remember the fear and the horror, the shrieks and the cries. Villain, coward, where do you hide? Scattered among the nations? Or have you quietly, secretly infiltrated our lives, hardening our hearts to one another? Children of Israel, banish Amalek from within, so that he may be destroyed forever. When we remember to love and to cherish, to build and preserve, to walk in the ways of God, then this name, this Amalek, will be blotted forever from the face of the earth. When we remember the pain and suffering of others, when we exile wickedness from our hearts, evil will disappear forever. We will not forget. Purim feels different this year. As I said, this is the Sabbath right before the joyous holiday of Purim, reminding us of the brutal attack of the tribe of Amalek. Jews constantly straddle this dichotomy, don't we? That in moments of complete and utter abandon and joy, we hold the remembrance of collective pain and sorrow. Such is what it means to be a Jew. The Purim story, which we'll hear tomorrow night, is the perfect fairy tale. Esther is an orphan. She's a beautiful damsel being raised by a kindly uncle or cousin, depending on which describer you subscribe to. Haman is an evil tyrant who is powerful because the foolish king is either disinterested or wholly incompetent. Kids dress up, receive candy and treats, and enjoy the revelry as parents try to drink enough alcohol so that they can no longer discern between Haman and Mordecai. But when one really examines the text, there is nothing lighthearted about it. Megillat Esther is about a man's desire to annihilate the Jewish people and the retaliation of the Jewish people by killing their enemies. We tend to ignore the troubling aspects of the story and simply concentrate on the merriment. Normally, I'm concentrating on giving the shloach minot and gorging myself on hamantashen. But after October 7th, Purim feels wholly different. I'm not sure we have the luxury to not examine the story as a cautionary tale as well. It's significant that Esther is the first book of the Bible to refer to us as Jews, and it is also the first descriptor of anti-Semitism. Haman's beef is with Mordecai, but he decides that Mordecai's slight is because all Jews are evil. In chapter 3, verse 6, we're told, "But he, Haman, disdained to lay hands on Mordecai alone. Having been told who Mordecai's people were, Haman plotted to do away with all Jews, Mordecai's people, throughout the kingdom of Ahasuerus." It's important to recognize Haman doesn't act in a vacuum. He's spurred on by the courtiers who fuel the flame. They ask him, what will he do with a man who's so insolent? In fact, this is just how prejudice and hate escalate within society. Individuals who act on prejudice and hate don't exist in isolation. They're influenced and emboldened by the attitudes and actions of those around them. The process of incitement can involve subtle expressions of bigotry and intolerance that gradually desensitize individuals to the humanity of others, ultimately leading to acts of violence and discrimination. Although it's more comforting to just believe in one villain, it's the collective whole which makes the bigotry and intolerance possible. As Rabbi Azrael Fellner puts it, the leap from individual Jew who Haman despises to the whole Jewish people is very much like the leap being taken now, as expressed through the odium against the state of Israel to the Jewish people itself. How many times have Jews been attacked in Germany, in France, Germany, and England, and elsewhere? And not just because they're Jews, but because they're ineluctably connected to Israel, and hence bear the brunt of the universal hatred which knows no boundaries and is sensitive to no nuance. Such is what we're seeing in the collective conflict between Israel and Hamas. People's momentary and half-hearted concern for the events of October 7th were replaced in very short order by the hatred of Jews and their homeland. Some say anti-Semitism is back. I say it never, ever left. The rallying cry of Jews will not replace us becomes acceptable when the Jew is characterized as a murderer of innocent children, or ethnic cleanser, or colonizer, or just as other. It's shocking that this hatred has exploded onto the public forum with such force. Through demonstrations on universities, vitriolic anti-Semitic posts on social media, and hate crime, attacking both individuals and Jewish institutions. Make no mistake, I don't agree with the Israeli government. I don't believe that any innocent people at any time should feel hurt and anguish and fear and destruction. I don't believe that, and I don't think you'd find many Jews on the planet who do. But there is one, and he is the Prime Minister of Israel. In Paul Plotkin's piece, Random Thoughts from a Jew Who's Never Felt So Vulnerable, he writes, "The Jews, some argue, earn the right to be hated, oppressed, and annihilated. What I can't understand is people's selectivity. 1,400 of my people were killed, tortured, mutilated, burned, and the masses in the world maybe expressed sympathy for a few days. I don't remember masses in the street of France or England, and certainly not in Turkey or Egypt or New York, marching in angry condemnation. I didn't see the campuses of what to me going forward will be known as used to be elite universities demonstrating on campus. I barely saw any college presidents condemning the grotesque violence perpetrated on my people. There were even professors of these used to be elite universities celebrating the Hamas actions. Many people don't like to see bombs landing, on the buildings of civilians and killing women and children. I can understand that. But how come in a year and a half of bombing on civilian targets in Ukraine by the Russians, who are the initiators of the war and the invaders of a sovereign nation, there are no marches in the street, no condemnations from professors, and no student organizations voting to condemn the Russians? And so this Purim, I'm going to ask you to listen to the story in a different way. I think the population of the world should take note. We Jews are the canary in the coal mine. Once people go after the Jews, other minority groups are usually close behind. Anti-Semitism is just a symptom of what is toxic and what is broken in a community and in a society. We may be the first to feel the heat, but we won't be the last. This poem by Martin Niemöller, entitled First They Came, encapsulates it perfectly. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I am not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists. I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. We have a collective responsibility as members of society to confront and challenge expressions of prejudice and hate whenever and wherever we encounter them. By promoting empathy, understanding, acceptance, we can work towards creating a more inclusive and compassionate world where such harmful attitudes and behaviors have no place. It's a reminder of the importance of standing up against injustice and fostering a culture of respect and equality for all. May God bless all of the innocent Palestinians and heal them. May God bless those who have children and loved ones still being held in Gaza. May God bless those who have loved ones who they have lost to cruelty and to terrorism. May God bless the right for our homeland to exist in peace. Just like our ancestor Mordechai, we must not bow down. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom. We will place our beloved Torah back into the ark, and I invite you to please rise.
Haaretz v'shamayim v'yaren keren le'amo tehila le'ol chaziyah livnei Yisrael am terovo. Hallelujah.
Continue with Elaine on page 586. The Misha Berach, the prayers that we do for healing, although in a different place than it's usual, still do not in any way mean that they are out of our thoughts for very long. So we are thinking and praying that the following are restored to some peace and healing, whatever that may look like. May Bonver, Chana Azna Bat Rivka Masha, Allison Esrig, Irina Bat Galia, Patty Greenberg, Phyllis Goldblatt, Dr. Jamal Hussein, Lori Kaplan, Deborah Miller, Norma Phillips, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Pam Sherman, Avery Spunt, Tally Stein, Kath Warman, Eden Yerushalayim, all those hostages in Gaza and those who are suffering in the world. Please feel free to make a beautiful noise and call it out all at one time. We join together singing. This poem is called Grief's Slow Wisdom by Rabbi Joshua Loth Liebman. The melody that the loved one played upon the piano of our lives will never be played quite that way again. But we must not close the keyboard and allow the instrument to gather dust. We must seek out other artists of the spirit, new friends who gradually will help us find the road to life again, and who will walk that road with us. We remember on this Shabbat Zachor, Max J. Adler, William Norman Alcorn, Paul Bauman, Bertold Brunner, Ted Cohen, Edna Cohen Britton, Otis Dante, Roselle Davis, Joseph Eisenberg, Charles Friedman, Etta Galler, Seymour Gelb, Phoebe Goldberg, Esther Hanmacher, Fannie Hewitt, Mary Hollander, Anna Hurwitz, Celia Jaffe, Arthur Kaplan, Louis Clow, Arlene Knell, Jerome Landsman, Louis Lindy, Edolph Lissau, Dorothy Jones Lowy, Hyman Mendelssohn, Clara Morris, Barbara Morrison, David Snow, Molly Trotch, Seymour Sonny Waitsman, and Hannah Warren, and in recent days, Miriam Lyon and Larry Silverman. I invite those of you who are either commemorating a yahrzeit or who are in mourning to please rise first. And if it is your custom to please rise now. Page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei amaya. יתברך וישתבח ויפאר וירומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרמיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו
Amen.
May the source of peace send peace to anyone who is bereaved among us or on the Zoom tube as we all say amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. God willing, I will see many of you tomorrow night to be celebrating someone in our community who you might know, I don't know. She might be someone you don't know. I'm not really sure. And I'm certainly not going to tell you who that is. So you'll have to just guess. Anyway, hopefully we'll see you. Chag Purim Sameach is the way we say happy Purim. But first and foremost, Shabbat Shalom to you all.
Shabbat Shalom. Peaceful Shabbat to you all.
We'll meet you right down there for a hug, handshake, or high five.